It's the Shy Life Podcast with me, Shynity.
Hello and welcome to the Shy Life Podcast, episode 12. Yes, this time we've got two interviews. Yes, two. The first is with my friend Joe, who I used to work with, and we cover all sorts of topics: music, working together, theatre. And the second interview is with Rich Harris, one of the poets from the Poetry Cafe show recently. You'll probably remember him. And we talk about poetry, his poetry, my poetry, what inspires us to write poetry. Yeah, so it's a bit of a mixture. And it's all coming up after the theme tune. Right, well, we're going to get started. The interview with Joe that's coming up next was recorded in a pub. So, no, I'm not saying we got drunk, but there is a bit of background noise to it, but I think it came out fine, so that shouldn't be a problem. The interview I recorded with Rich, we recorded in a park, so other than the sound of London buses going in the background and kids playing football, that should be no problem. Anyway, I won't say any more for now. I'm just going to get on with these interviews, and yes, I hope you enjoy them. Hello, it's me. I'm just waiting for a train to arrive. Hello, I'm somewhere else now. Yes, whatever you were listening to before, this is definitely something different. I'm somewhere else, and this was recorded at a different time. I'm just going to meet a friend of mine, a really old friend of mine. She's not old. Well, no, she's not. She's the same age as me. All right. She's the same age as me, which, well, just makes us nicely matured. Yes. Anyway, so the friend we're about to meet is called Joe. Will you stop talking while I'm talking? Sorry. The friend we're about to meet sorry, we've got trains making noises now. I don't know. I have mentioned this friend before. Her name's Jo, and I worked with her many years ago. She's got lots of stories, and I'm really glad that she's agreed to be on the show. We're meeting in a little town called Woking, which isn't too far from my flat, and meeting at a pub called The Sovereigns, which isn't too far from where I used to live when I lived in Woking back in the 90s. Jo lives in a place called Basingstoke, so that's a little way away. So she drives to meet me because Woking is relatively close to where I live. So I'm very grateful for her coming out tonight. This interview you're about to hear was recorded, or is being recorded, but by the time you hear it, was. Anyway, it's the 13th, Wednesday, the 13th of July. So, let's just get on with it, shall we? So there we are. I've just turned it on.
The phone or media.
Well, whatever. This is Joe.
Hello.
Audience.
Hello, audience.
Oh, is he lovely?
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to say yes.
Oh, sorry.
They're saying yes.
Oh, sorry. Scrub that bit out of the script, otherwise I'll read it again.
I don't do scripts when we do something. Well, we should probably explain how we first met. We should start.
Go on then.
Well,
I can't remember the first time I actually saw you, actually, to be
that
honest.
wasn't me, that was my stunt double. Well, we worked in the same library together
We did.
20 years ago, almost to the day.
Yes, so this is our anniversary.
It's our
This
anniversary,
is the
yes.
anniversary episode.
Yes. And there will be mugs and plates coming out soon.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm a mug. So. Anyway, I wasn't really your boss, was I? But I was. That would seem ridiculous. I was technically somebody else's boss who was at the same grade as you.
Were you?
I don't know.
Whose boss were
I was
you?
Sarah's boss. I was Sarah's boss.
Really?
I had to do her staff report. Yeah.
I don't know whether I had a staff report, actually, because I was on a contract.
For the mafia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I always knew there was something special about it.
Oh, I'm very special. Yes, because I was on a contract, I wasn't permanent staff. So I don't know that I had appraisals and stuff. So I don't think anybody managed me, quite frankly.
You were Rome. Well, that sounds about right, to be honest. But this is the library that we did, that I visited. I keep saying viewers because when I used to do the videos, listeners. There was an episode early on where I went back to a library and sort of showed you around on audio. That was the same library where Joe and I worked together. So it was a bit of a. Is it right to say trial by fire? Well,
Baptism of
baptism
fire.
fire. Yeah.
Baptism of fire, that's the one.
In that I arrived just as we were refurbishing the library.
Oh, yes.
So it wasn't like starting a new job and it's all like normal and you're working at your desk and it's. No, we were putting things into boxes and it was the summer, pretty much the holidays.
I think the whole recess was spent boxing stuff up, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
It was pretty.
And but it meant that we got to chat a lot more and
That's true.
and because we were supposed to have movers, professional movers.
Were we?
I think we were, but we kind of never really waited for them because if we had, we'd still be unpacking the boxes now.
Didn't they come in just to move the shelving and stuff like that? Because the stock of the library was, some of it was going across to the temporary accommodation, wasn't it? And the rest of it was all going into storage.
Yeah.
So we boxed up a lot of we boxed all the stuff that went to storage, didn't we?
Yeah, but I think we did do more, and we wheeled the stuff over to
We did.
to the storeroom,
We
which
did.
we weren't really. I don't think we were meant to be doing that, but just to get things moving, because we were
Bored, yes.
well, I was young and
Enthusiastic.
enthusiastic. We were young.
We were very
We were
young.
young,
Yes,
yeah.
very young. I was
You were under 20. You were under 20.
just under 20.
And I was just
A bit
over
old.
20. I was just over 20.
Just a bit
I don't know quite how to put this.
carefully.
Without breaking any of these terms. How come we? Okay, Everything But the Girl.
Yes.
They had an album cover at the time
Yes.
where they were kind of stood looking a bit vacant. We kept striking that pose. I presume I was the man, but I might not have been.
I think we probably took it in turns.
We probably took it in turns.
That's a democratic
Yes,
relationship. Probably took
Yeah.
it in turns.
So we did spend quite a lot of 1996 striking poses.
The same pose in various places.
It's something that I've learned it's held me in good stead over the years. But it's obviously not quite so much fun when you're by yourself. You don't understand that it's just you're one half of Everything But the Girl, and you're not sure which half. People look at you strangely. But that's okay, I'm used to that.
You're used to it now.
I'm used to it now.
Used to
Yeah.
it now.
So we moved all the books, and some went to storage, and then we opened a new temporary library in an old gym. Was it? Well,
The sports hall.
the sports hall. Yes, it was.
Right term for us.
And you were with us for a while long because we worked together for about a year ish, maybe.
Was that all? I felt like
so.
longer somehow.
Well, because didn't you leave before we moved back again?
Yes, I did.
And that was it the following summer. So
Oh, was it?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Yes. So it must have only been a year.
But we never lost touch.
No,
No, we used to send letters to each other.
we didn't we?
I've still got them.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh God, quick, burn them. Somebody burn them.
No, they've not survived 20 years for me to not burn them. For me to burn them now.
But when we moved into the sports hall,
Yeah,
in the library we'd had sort of separate offices, hadn't we?
yeah.
But I've got a feeling our desks next to each other.
Yes, they probably were. Yeah,
We didn't get a lot of work done, did we? I don't
probably
think.
not.
I
No.
think
Oh, were you still there when I got a bit drunk? Did you have to feed me peppermints, or was that after you'd left? There was one day I went out with Callum because Callum worked at this place as well, and we went to well, I think I can say we went to a Gurkha curry lunch, and so it was like a happy hour. So I don't remember if I managed to drink 3 or 4 pints in the hour, and it was one of my most efficient Friday afternoons. I was hyper alert, only probably a little bit slurry. That's all. I do remember Sarah certainly fed me with peppermints, and it was when we were still at that place, so you might have been there as well.
I can't remember it, to be honest, but that may not have been. It was there at that place where you shocked me.
Dear.
You shocked me.
What did I do?
It was a proper mouth open, jaw dropping moment.
Tell the listeners.
You shaved your goatee beard off.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't tell me you were doing it, you just came in like it. Almost naked, in fact.
Well, yeah, in the 90s my goatee came when my goatee originally sort of came because of Britpop, and everybody in 95, 96 had goatees, even the ladies. And you didn't, but some ladies did. But sort of as Britpop waned, sometimes so did my beard, but ultimately it established itself, and then it crawled all the way up between my chin and my ears. It filled in from being a goatee. At one point I had a soul patch, whatever that is. One of those where it's just the tufty bit.
Yeah, I remember that. That wasn't your finest facial hour, I don't think.
No, I've been looking at old Sutton Park. Actually, Nick and I were looking at stuff the other day. We were deciding when was our prettiest moments. I decided in 95, 96. So that's when you met me. So I was at my prettiest when you met me.
You were. Yes. You were gorgeous. Those big blue eyes.
You've always remained gorgeous. So.
Oh, thanks, Chuck.
Sorry, we're just
Having a gooey moment.
she's my wife, you know.
Oh yes.
She's my wife.
Many years now. When did you start doing that whole wifey hubby thing?
Was it before or after I came out to you?
I don't remember you actually coming out to me, to be honest.
Is this new news to you now?
Yeah, it's a shock. It's a total shock. I don't remember you actually ever.
I think it might have been when we were at the theatre once, and the lights went down, and I might have said something there, and then you couldn't say anything for the whole act. And you couldn't walk out because you were like in a row.
Yeah, I was hemmed in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
We'll have to talk about all the plays and things we went to because I can't remember half of them, but we can come back to that. So I remember driving around in your car listening to Lola by the Kinks, or singing Lola by the Kinks. Is that right? Was it Lola?
That probably was.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an all-time favourite.
I used to do taped music.
You did.
One of them being Voulez-Vous by ABBA.
Yes. The first one was the Oops, Sorry, No Voulez-Vous, because you got carried away with it and you forgot to put it on there. You got all the way to the end of the cassette, sort of 90 minutes or whatever it was. Just go, hang on a minute, I haven't put that one on.
It was very much an era of tape compilations, because that's also how Callum and I kind of got to know each other. Well, Callum used to come to the library at lunch breaks because he was friendly with you and Sarah, and then I got invited to quiz nights by him. But we also used to do each other tapes of music, and that's how he got me into some of the Manic Street Preachers and David Bowie albums that I didn't know already. But you went to the quiz night, didn't you? At least once.
Did. Oh yeah, I went a couple of times.
Yeah.
I did go a couple of times.
That was an experience. I think we might save that experience for. I might speak to Callum about that in more detail, because he used to go to that quiz night even before I came along. So.
He was very much a regular fixture, wasn't he?
Although we saw in the paper that the Cambridge is possibly shut for good now.
Is it really?
And they were talking about knocking it down for flats, but I'm not sure if they actually can, because I think it might be a protected building.
I was going to say, is it got a listing on it?
I think it might be,
because it's been there for years.
There's not that much in Camberley that is older than that's old and worth keeping.
Because it was the Cambridge, wasn't it, when we used to drink there, and then it was called something else.
And then I think
RSVP or something, or was that the club next to it?
Not sure. Well, the club next to it was called JW's when we used to go to it. But when Callum and I used to.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever went to JW's. No, you went to Joe Bananas.
I was a Joe Bananas girl.
Yeah. I think we sort of used to alternate. There was a stage when Callum and I used to go up to this nightclub every Saturday night. That's quite depressing, really. But it was okay, because we got to have a drink.
Played a lot.
The music was very much, the DJ played what he wanted to, and everyone else had to sort of put up with it. I think the music was better at Joe Bananas, when we went.
I quite like Joe Bananas. It was one of my favourite places.
The only good thing is, you'd think that the DJ would sort of notice what people were really enjoying. And there was one point in the evening that they always played some 80s stuff, and they always played Love Shack by the B-52s, which is how we kind of got it became, because Callum's friends from the quiz night were his college friends, so I sort of hung around a lot with them outside of work, and for ages, almost like we'd walk into any nightclub and Love Shack would come on. I mean, this was getting on for 10 years after it had been in the charts, so it wasn't like the newest song, but so it became our sort of tune. So at JW's they play all that sort of music, and people who hadn't been dancing would come onto the floor, and he'd do it for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, then he'd go back to because at the time, in 1996 or 7, it was all that sort of horrible, long piano-y type, boring dance and music, and the highlight would have been the Spice Girls song. So you'd think that when he saw how many people were coming out for the oldies, that perhaps he would have played a bit more, or even done a whole night of the oldies, but no, he had to play his agenda of what was covered.
I think Joe Bananas was better in that sense. I mean, they had a designated 80s night, and the drinks were all ATP.
No, we didn't go there enough. We really should have. But we went out in Basingstoke once.
I don't remember that particularly. Where did we go? To Chicago?
I don't know, because I don't really know. It's like the one and only time I've been out in Basingstoke after dark. And I don't know how I would have got home unless somebody wasn't drinking. I don't know if Sarah. I know Sarah was there. It must have been somebody's birthday. Must have been either her birthday or your. Just a minute. No, your birthday in January.
My birthday's in January.
Maybe it was her birthday.
Sarah's is June.
Which then she wouldn't have. Well, then.
Are you sure it was Basingstoke?
It wasn't Camberley. I think it was.
Well, I did go out with Sarah a few times to Windsor. Was it Windsor?
Wasn't Windsor.
Oh, it wasn't Windsor. Oh,
no, so no Windsor.
Oh well,
we'll work it out. We'll ask the fountain of all knowledge, i.e. Callum, because he remembers. He's probably Callum goes back and puts things on Facebook, like, you know, events.
Yes.
Events of, like, life events that are far before Facebook were around. They're like holidays. He'll check us into places we were in 1999 or something. This one's called The One. You were the one. We were made for one another, inseparable and so in love. All through high school we were together. We even had friendship rings, but to us they meant so much more. We were the ideal couple, the ones they all looked up to, the ones they secretly idolised or were jealous of. King and queen of the senior prom. You were the one, but things changed over time. All those years together, and eventually your head was turned by all those girls at college. Why you did that to us, only you know. I couldn't let it happen. You were the one that got away. Repeat, I couldn't let it happen. A month in the basement when my parents were in Europe should have put paid to that. But no, you still wanted to leave, to escape me, to get away. A sledgehammer to the kneecaps now ensures you'll be staying put. You're going nowhere, baby. You're the one, honey. The one for me. That's a bit Kathy Bates, I think. So we went to the theatre a lot at one stage.
We did. That was my winter of discontent.
All in one winter, was it?
Yes, well, I'd broken up with Matthew, if you remember, the tragic circumstances of that, and I realised what a dickhead he was.
He won't be listening, will he?
No, there's no way. There's a snowflake in a warm place's chance he's listening. So, no, I mean, he's fine. We just weren't suited to each other. That's the basis there. And I sort of realised I'd invested so much of my spare time and whatnot in my relationship with Matthew that I hadn't really kept up friendships and things. And you and I haven't kept in touch that frequently, really, have we?
You probably had so many letters, though, because I seem to have lots of letters from you. So. Some I haven't even opened yet. No, I have.
So you never got the one that says shove off.
Obviously not.
So anyway, so that happened. I just realised, I haven't really invested in other friendships, so I thought I had to make up a bit of ground. And also there were things that I wanted to do that Matt was never interested in doing, but you were, which was nice. So we spent kind of a winter, really, didn't we? Going up to. Well, you were in London most weekends anyway, weren't you, at the time?
Do you know which year this was? Because I was going to say, a lot of the 90s, I wasn't dating. I was just filming Sutton Park, and I didn't really start even thinking about dating until 99.
Yeah.
99. Even then, it wasn't a continual thing. It was so it was probably when I was single as well, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it was about 98 or 99.
Yeah, in that case,
I think.
I was very single.
So was I. That's when we started the wifey and happy thing. Maybe.
We went to some London thing. We went to see Importance of Being Earnest.
We did. Yes, that was good. We had the cheapest of the cheap seats. These are cheap sheets then. I don't do cheap sheets. You set fire to yourself. Don't do polyester. Yes, we did. And it was a very back row up in the goals.
Yeah.
I mean, you daren't lean forward too far or you would have keeled over.
Now,
somebody came with us.
Sorry?
Somebody came with us. It wasn't just you and I. Somebody else was with us.
Not Harry? Or...
I think it was Harry. He came to the Shakespeare.
Oh, did we see the what's it called? The Reduced Shakespeare. Did I must have taken you to see art.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, but
yes.
I liked art so much. I can't remember which version of art was.
It had Simon Shepherd in it, and
Jamie Theakston. He was in a version I saw.
No, it wasn't him. It was well, the other guy was, or one of the other guys was. He cropped up in later episodes of Heartbeat, and he was in The Darling Buds of May. He played the guy that shacked up with Catherine Zeta-Jones's character.
But the thing about art is that each cast was like people in their 30s, and I think I saw it with people in their 20s, so that's when I saw it with Jamie Theakston. Sounds like we probably saw a 30s cast, because I imagine.
Easily, if not slightly older.
Yeah, and then I think I saw it with a 50s So I saw it at least 3 times, if not 4. I think I even saw it in Woking once. But I was so enthusiastic at once. Did we see the play What I Wrote together?
No, I didn't think we saw that. Because you and I saw, we went to the theatre, just the two of us, or with, I think Harry came a couple of times as well. But we also went to the theatre quite a lot with the old library. Because we went to Woking quite a few times, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did you come with us when we watched Whistle Down the Wind?
I did see that too, yeah.
Oh, God, it was dire.
I'm not the biggest fan of musicals at the best of times.
No, that was particularly bad.
I like Mary Poppins, and that's about it. Well, not quite. Oh, and Cabaret.
Oh, well, who doesn't like Cabaret?
So there are some, and Cleverly Modern Millie, or whatever that is.
Oh yeah.
But I've only just discovered that recently. So.
There was. What else did we go and see? We went to the Ivano quite a lot, didn't we?
In Guildford.
We saw Loot.
Yeah. Well, that was where I think that I came out to you, was in Guildford.
Really?
So that must have been when it was just us two, because I wouldn't have been doing it with all the other people there. So.
You certainly wouldn't, you certainly wouldn't. I don't remember that at all. You think I'd remember something that momentous, wouldn't you?
You blocked it out.
I just blocked it out. All my hopes and dreams dashed. I've been practicing my new signature and everything.
Let's just go back. I get the TARDIS, let's just go back. No, actually that's not fair. You've got a nice husband. A real one.
Genuine. Sleep and everything.
Yeah. I want to change the course of history. I used to keep the programs of all the shows we went to, but when one of my tidy ups, I kind of got rid of them. But I wish I hadn't now. So, I'm told I keep quite a lot of stuff, but I think if I had more storage space, then they wouldn't be so noticeable. I don't have many cupboards in my flat to put things away.
No, that's true.
So I pretty much got everything into some people think that you should really, if you don't have it on display, then why are you keeping it? That to me, that's you've got to have. That's the whole point with things like that. You bring them out on occasion. You don't want to be looking at your school record when you were 5 every day. But sometimes it's quite nice to look back at, or you're not going to put them on. You're not going to put your swimming badge from when you were 11 on the wall or something.
I don't want to have everything on display. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want everything on display.
So I wish I'd kept them. I used to keep sort of gig tickets as well. Sometimes you think you throw things away, and you're like, clearly I didn't throw it away. Or maybe I threw it away, then I plucked it back out of the bin when no one was looking. We used to come over for tea sometimes, and we'd watch things, and then you were able
Paint
to.
dry.
You would borrow like some albums or some TV from me.
I would, yes.
Recently, you borrowed the whole of Bergerac.
All 9 seasons.
9 seasons. You've got to the end, and I'm still struggling with the later episodes.
I've probably got more time on my hands than you have.
I like the Louis Jameson episodes best anyway. Paul, Susan. We used to go on holiday to the Channel Islands, so in fact we sort of remember seeing the car a few times, and I suppose they must have filmed it in summer period. And I've just lent you Charade, haven't I?
Yes. Hopefully a slightly better copy of it.
Yes. Charade is a film with Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. It's one of my... I like both of them, but I think I originally bought it because I like Audrey Hepburn, and it made me explore more Cary Grant films, because at the time I hadn't seen that many. And it's probably my favourite Audrey Hepburn film. And it's not, even though it won awards and things, I don't think it's necessarily one of her most well-known ones. But the copy I had didn't work on your player, so that spurred me on to buying a nice new copy, which is still in its wrap.
It is.
But I've got so many new films to watch that I thought I'd let you try it. I hope you enjoy it. I was going to ask about your pets. We have different sorts of pets, but we both like pets.
We do.
What's your pet's called?
This is starting to sound like a really bad date. I just like to point that out. We are well past the bad dating stage.
Yeah.
We're now on to the acrimonious divorce.
I think we should go for a walk with your dog and do a podcast whilst we're going for a walk one day.
Do you really?
I don't know, maybe it's not a good idea.
Yes, I can imagine. Yes, Tommy would probably like it until he would think, what are you doing? So yes, I have 2 dogs at Head. I have 2 Border Terriers. One's called Tilly, and she's 5 in November, and the other one is Tommy, who is 2 in September.
And they're the cute type of dog, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know what flavour they are, but they look very pretty and handsome.
They're small and brown, they're like my husband.
And I've got Dealey, who the audience has already met because he's meowed into the tone on a number of occasions. And on one occasion when he wouldn't, I meowed for him. It's a bit like, it's the opposite of why have a dog and bark yourself, or why have a cat where you kind of gonna have to meow yourself if you want him to do it on cue.
Yes, exactly. Because a cat won't. The dogs are a tad more biddable.
Yeah.
But I think Dealey's the only pet I've known you with, isn't it?
Yes,
You didn't have a cat before that, did you?
No, we've always had them like back at home. My parents have always had them.
I did meet a cat or 2 at your mum and dad's.
Yeah, sometimes on some occasions they've had as many as 6. But, at the moment they've got 3, which I'm glad they've got, because when they my parents are in their 70s, but they're very well with it. So it's been to that point where they could have talked themselves out of having any more when they last. But it keeps them. They've got a big garden, and my parents are always out in the garden. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I saw them the other day when I went home, and 2 of them still haven't. They're about 2 years old, but they're still kind of nervous of new people. And one of them is a year older, and their mother is really more friendly. So at the moment I just let the one who's friendly pay me attention and pay it attention, in the hope that maybe the gossip will spread that I'm nice, and then at some stage the little ones might learn that I'm alright too. But, well, I think whilst we can still hear each other speak, this is probably a good time to say thank you very much. Thank you for nattering. We'll do it again soon, and hopefully it will be a little bit quieter. But I was very keen to speak to you and get you on the show. So. And yes, so thank you very much. And we'll be moving on to other things now. Say goodbye, listeners. They said goodbye.
Thank you.
Well, there you are. I hope you enjoyed that interview. I'm back on the train, about to head home. It's now dark, but it's been a nice evening. I'm sorry if the interview was a little bit noisy. We probably would have talked a little bit more if it hadn't have been quite so noisy. There appeared to be a party of people having a little bit of a celebration. But hopefully you were able to hear us okay. But Jo will be back, as promised. She will be back, and we've got lots of things we can talk about on another occasion. Anyway. This is called Piccadilly is a Rubbish Circus. Piccadilly is a rubbish circus. Heck, where's the fire eater? Oh, where is the lion tamer? I can't even spot a cheetah. Oh, where are the madcap jugglers, in all their pomp so very fine? Oh, where are the creepy clowns, whose sense of humour's so divine? Where is the big top celebration, so very droll yet rather silly? There's really nothing much of note along the streets of Piccadilly. Trafalgar is a rubbish square. I'm not convinced it isn't round. I feel for sure it lacks all merit, that doubt of interest there be found. Yes, Nelson's column stands so tall, but tell me now, what does it do? It isn't even interactive, nor made of jelly through and through. I hear it's meant to simply sit there in memory of our noble past. Just knock it down to build a cafe, because coffee cravings also last. Covent is a rubbish garden. I cannot see a single tree, only endless sways of tourists. Yes, far too many, you'll agree. For the Court at Earls is hopeless. It cannot even call a trial, and Hyde Park is not in hiding, because the Serpentine's in style. So many places in this city are either dull or muck encrusted. Piccadilly is a rubbish circus. I fear old London town is busted. You're very mean to them. Right, it's time for another interview. I'm meeting up with Rich Harris, who was one of the poets in my last poetry show. Our styles are relatively similar in many ways, and there are many differences, but we both write humour, we both write sort of darker pieces, and thought it would be interesting to talk about our poetry, his poetry, the state of poetry in general, who knows. So yes, the interview was done near Phoenix Park, near Tottenham Court Road, on Thursday 21st of July 2016. Hi Rich, how are you?
Hey Paul, I'm good, thanks. How you doing?
Yeah, doing alright.
Good.
It's nice, we're in the shade now. We were in the sun to start with. It's
A bit better over
better
here.
in the shade, yes.
Yeah.
Got a nice coffee as well, that's good, thank you for that. So, what did you think of the show the other day? Was that your first?
It was my second, actually. I went to one a few weeks ago and it was really, really busy, and I got a bit freaked out at the first one. It was
Yeah.
about 50 or 60 people.
Oh.
But your show was nice. It was a nice,
Yeah.
relaxed atmosphere. Everyone was very friendly and nice, so
Yeah,
I didn't feel
yeah.
so intimidated and actually happy to get up and do something.
Well, the first time I did was at the Poetry Cafe on one of their open mic nights in about 2008, and I was kind of pushed into doing it in a nice way, and I think that was sort of the summertime. But that place, when the open mic night, it can have like 50 people
It was
in there.
really, really
It was
heavy,
really,
yeah.
really crammed, and I used to go to the open mic nights quite a bit, but it can just, if a lot of people are reading, it can go really late. And
It was very slow, yeah, quite daunting as well. I just felt a bit
that's
on
what,
edge.
Was it the open mic at the
Yeah,
Poetry?
actually, on a Tuesday, I think.
Yes,
it was.
that's right. Yeah, and they can't, you don't know what order you're going to go, and they just kind of
It was a good night. It was nice to be part of it.
yeah. Oh, you're all right there because you live in town, but you know, if I got to go back and it's kind of getting towards 11 o'clock, and
Exactly,
you
you've
think
got to
I'm going to be on
watch
my
it
last train, I've got to be up again at 5 or whatever.
I'm watching the clock.
Yeah, and there's also that kind of really nervous thing, isn't it, of like not knowing when you're going to get called up.
Petrifying is
So you're not
the
really-
word I would use.
Yeah, you're not necessarily enjoying.
Because you're waiting in your
Yeah.
head, you're not really absorbing the other people
Yeah.
reading, you're
Yeah.
just kind of just blocking it out and
Yeah.
focusing.
So when you if you get yours done early, then it's kind of it's fine. Then you can just enjoy it.
Put your feet up, have a beer and kind of,
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I was talking to them because I was hoping to book another show, but I think they're renovating
Yeah.
later in the year. So,
That's a shame.
but he did say that they might be getting alternative venues. So
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
yeah, because it has. I'm sure there's nobody from the Poetry Cafe listening, but it's got more expensive since somebody else has taken over in the last couple of years.
Right.
So it's kind of doubled the price, and it actually was easier to join. If you joined the Poetry Society, then you got a discount. So yeah, so it's when I first did it, it was like nothing. It was like 20 quid or something. But now it's a bit more of a like, oh well, okay, because it was a bit of a. It's a nice thing to do, but you're not expecting to. Doesn't really matter if it's 20 quid, but if it's 50 or more, then
Then you
it's,
kind of start noticing a bit more.
yeah, you just kind of think okay. So it's like having any hobby. It's just I kind of enjoy like doing my own show rather than just doing 2 minutes in
Yeah.
an open mic.
How many shows have you done then?
Well, I've done I usually do 3 or 4 a year. So yeah, 4 since 2008. So yeah, that's some shows.
Do you have each show as like a set sort of theme, or is it just whatever collection of poetry you've got ready to go?
Yeah, because I went through a stage of the first 8 books I did. I did them like on a photocopier, and so they weren't on Lulu where I have my other books. So when I first went to Lulu, I kind of compiled 2 books into one, so they weren't as sort of formatted as quite. So I went through a stage where I kind of separated them all out and did some more work to them. So yeah, there was a period of about 8 shows, which sort of lasted 2 or 3 years, where I was doing a special show from the night. But I've done a couple of charity shows. I've tried different things. I've tried getting people to book tickets. I've tried charging just to get the money back that you've spent on it, or donations. Yeah, nothing works perfectly, but then sometimes it does work.
Yeah, it's kind of hard
But
to
you
call,
just don't know.
isn't it? So, yeah.
If you did it twice in a row, it wouldn't work the second time.
Yeah,
Or-
that's typical.
yeah, I like doing, because John, who was at the show, he's got his open mic.
In August, I'm not here.
But I don't think I think I might not
I
be.
would have gone
either.
to that otherwise.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because it's really close to you. So.
I don't know where it is. Is it
It's
St Augustus?
Yeah,
or something like that?
St Barnabas
St
is
Barnabas.
just over there. Yeah, I was thinking because I went to his went to his wedding reception, and so I know where it is now, and
Okay.
so that's good. But I think I'm away in
It's
in
a
August
shame,
as well.
just about
but-
time, is it? But there are other times, other nights.
Yeah,
It's time to get more poems in as well. So
yeah.
yeah.
So tell me about your new book, Dark.
So it's a collection of dark writings and dark poetry. I started writing funny poems and kids poetry in the last sort of 10-15 years or so, and then I don't know if it's just due to a recent breakup that I had where all this darkness came from. So I had a few poems and I didn't really have anywhere to put them, so I started this blog, and it's a good space to have just that genre. And then before I knew it, I was spilling out my heart, and all this darkness came out, and there was enough for a collection, not a book, I'd say more of a collection of poems. And I just didn't want them to stay in the computer and just gather dust, so just like, put it on a little book and get it out there and see what happens with it. It's been nicely received, which is good. Get some nice words back.
Well, the same thing happened to me really as well, so I can totally understand.
Yeah.
Because literally before I started writing again, or started writing the poetry again in the early noughties, the only poetry I'd done had been stuff I'd done at school, and I didn't really have much experience, and it was all sort of mainly humorous.
Yeah.
My English teacher used to say that everything I wrote was about old ladies and aspidistras, and it was a bit like that. It was all sort of, it wasn't about real life and stuff. But then I had a situation, and I wrote one poem, and then that allowed me to sort of that sort of spiraled me. So how exactly the same.
It's interesting, isn't it? You think you're kind of stuck in one kind of way of writing, and then something happens, and you can just what I call real poetry.
Yeah.
Kind of all this nice stuff comes out, this nice dark stuff, I should say.
Yeah.
It's a good way to kind of therapize yourself and clear out your system.
Yeah, lucky I sort of stabilised where I kind of still can write some just plain silly ones, but I still like writing the dark ones, or like I've been doing some of my prose pieces, like the one about the psychopath that I've done recently, who needs the toilet. That's kind of dark, but it's also very
funny as well. They humour almost everything if you look at it.
I think I have to bring a bit of humour to it, otherwise it kind of gets you out of it a bit yourself. If you can somehow laugh at yourself or laugh at the situation a bit.
Yeah, just kind of turn it around a bit. But I like having two outlets. I like having the funny side, and also like having this sensible side, and just clearing out that part of my head.
Yeah. Well, as you had so many pieces, it's my first book where I put some of my poems like that. I dug up some old ones and I wrote some new. And so my first collection, which I think is the one I gave you, it's a bit of a mixture of that. You've got lots of different styles and lots of slightly different eras, and it wasn't quite so much of a coherent sort of collection like yours. Yours is good because it's a good theme, and it's.
I'm a bit OCD. I like everything all in one little box, and everything else is completely separate.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
The first time I saw you was when you were doing your videos, and that's when you were writing more humorous.
Yeah, the funny ones. Yeah. I cringe when I watched them. I didn't really know how to do anything with them, so I wrote them sort of 10-15 years ago, and I just kind of sat there, and I thought, right, the internet, let's get them on the internet, because that's a good way to reach a big audience, and it's fun doing it. But actually now we're trying to get this book of kids poetry self-published as well, so we've got some illustrations coming for that. So I've started up a separate blog, which I'm now going to try and build up interest on that side of it as well. So that's nice to do.
I wish I could draw, because. Or do you have somebody who?
We've got an amazing illustrator. He's in the States. So my writing partner, who wrote some of these poems with me, he's Australian, lives in Australia. So it's just been a really slow process with Australia and the States and getting the payment for it.
I've got some of my logos and some of the bits and pieces I've got on covers have been done by illustrators I've met. Some I've paid, some I've actually sort of paid them for their work. Some of them have said, it's just a good advert. Some of them have put their stuff on T-shirts, and then I've said, well, now I'll buy a lot, and they've said, well, that's payment enough. So it's been a mixture, but because I was thinking of doing ages ago. I was thinking of doing a kids book, and I've got a poem called Yeti Spaghetti, and I thought that would be a good title for the book, and I could put that one in. Because occasionally I'll write a poem, but also there'll be a twist that might suddenly at the last minute jerk it right out of being.
You didn't see that coming.
But at that point it may no longer be suitable for a younger audience. So you kind of like, okay, well I just need to change that line, find something. I've got I kind of got all the poems selected, but it was really difficult getting enough people to do it. It's one of those ones that's kind of gone back in the box for the moment.
Yeah. That happens.
but I've always got so many different projects on the go. That's fine.
You've got millions of poems you have coming out. So brilliant.
Well, I'm not as many as John. John's really is writing all the time, and I've sort of gone over more to doing my sort of script novels and the prose pieces and my blog and the podcast, and that's
you got a lot on your plate.
I got a lot on my plate anyway,
so.
but it's good if it's kind of evolving. It doesn't have to be, because I have written poems like every day. I was writing them for about 15 years. So if I'm not doing them quite so much now, that's fine. I've still got
to slow down a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, or move for a slightly different area, and I like the prose pieces I'm doing are performable still, so I can mix them into.
Yeah.
Because when I did my 100-word poems as well, that was good, because I could just put one of those. They're all about the same length as a poem. So has it always just been poetry, or have you written different things?
Like when I was at school, I used to love writing short stories. That's how I always wanted to be a writer when I grew up. That was the thing I wanted to do. So yeah, it started as short stories. I've always loved words and just putting words together. And then at school, I used to write silly little poems and odes to my friends, and just started from there. So
the ones I started writing at school were because I didn't like the poetry that we were doing, because we were doing Sylvia Plath, which is really dark. Yeah. So I kind of started writing parodies on Sylvia Plath.
That's a nice way to kind of get into it.
And that's kind of how it developed. So yeah, because I think I'm probably more inspired by song lyrics than I am poets.
Yeah, you said that before. Yeah.
But do you have what would you say inspires you? Is it comedians or for the?
Well, with the kids' poems, they're quite moralistic, so they're quite nice. They've got a story, a meaning behind them. So a lot of them are like, been told you can't do this, and if you try hard enough, you can overcome this. And they quite run a similar theme actually. Yeah, that's how they're going. Yeah. It's nice to get a message across, even if it's kids reading them or even adults, young adults. It's just everyone's appreciate them. I hope.
When I was at school, we was really my best friends. We used to sit and we had like script books of things like Victoria Wood and French and Saunders.
I love French and Saunders.
Yeah, so we used to just like take one of the characters and do it. So I was always going to probably write something that was humorous or something, even if it was dark.
It never goes away. It can just come through in a different way, doesn't it?
I've just recently come out of a 2-year relationship, which I thought was love, but it clearly wasn't. So this is a reflection of that. And the first poem is called Heart. It's not of glass, but it can break, as shown here by a painful ache. And it's not stone, but it can shatter, because of you, but it doesn't matter. It isn't wooden, still it burns. Desire grows and sorely yearns. If it were paper, it would rip, and also be crushed by your grip. If it was steel, how it would rust, exposed and weathered with too much trust. But still it tries, I feel it beat, regardless that I'm incomplete. It won't give up, it won't stay blue. We won't surrender, not for you. Heart.
So you have other hobbies other than writing. I saw you doing your running.
Yeah, I just got back into the running because I don't do any exercise at all. I haven't done any for about 39 years. So I thought it was time to get back into that. So my friend and I, we do a running club each Wednesday.
Yeah.
And yesterday was our first proper organised run in Hyde Park. So one of the hottest days of the year we decided to do. It was hard work. I nearly died like 3 times, but I'm glad I completed it.
So you did, was it 24 minutes or something?
Well, I thought it was 24 minutes, but it was actually 27. That was but still, I thought it was 24. That's quite impressive. But it was a lot harder than I thought. I mean, I can run 5k, but I think the heat really took it out of me.
I'm more of a walking person. I mean, the last couple of years I've not been too well, and medication and all sorts of things that cause more problem.
Yeah.
So I'm only just getting back to doing stuff anyway. But I used to be a bit of a walker and a cycler. Okay. But never really a runner.
Okay, walking's the best exercise you can do apparently though, isn't it? So
I used to I did a really long hike in Offa's Dyke in sort of on the border of Wales and England, and
that sounds nice.
It was, I was a bit younger, but it was first and only time I've done camping. So where you're kind of carrying
jokes.
Well, I'll probably do that before then, but that was kind of an experience, like doing 24 miles a day. And
that's quite a lot of walking.
In the summer.
And they're quite hard work as well.
I mean, I was a lot skinnier then, but even so, like, you think you've prepared and you think you've got...
But we know what you're getting into because they're quite intense.
Just like I bought walking boat boots. I bought walking boats.
Walking boats.
Walking
They sound
boats.
wonderful.
Yeah, they're really
Glide
quite.
along,
Yes, they are. Yes, that would have been.
Sailing through the
Could have gone down the Y on those. It would have been a lot easier. I bought walking boots and
cooperative effort.
yeah, hey, and yeah, wore them a few times before, and I thought, oh, that's fine. But of course, when you wear them more than just two, so I just ditched. I didn't ditch them, but I stuck them in the bag and wore trainers the rest of the time. And
Okay.
it was when I was making. I used to make this series called Sutton Park, which was lots of ad lib, and it takes too long to explain it all. But we were doing silly videos, and I was determined that. Whereas the friend I was with was like took the minimal amount of clothes and I was like, I have to take my video camera as well, and I had
Everything, my crew.
I didn't have a crew, but I'm kind of glad now though because I've got that. I've got that record of the whole
Upstairs
trip.
banked, so that's good.
And we're just sort of transferring. That's sort of what I did in the 90s rather than actually writing, because when I was at university, you were writing like essays and
So
stuff.
you didn't want to have to do that in your spare time, did you?
Yeah, I still wanted to be creative, so it was all ad lib, and we did that, and I like doing episodes of cliffhangers, and it was a way of being sociable, really.
Yeah. Sociable, what's that? That was
Well, a lot of my friends used to be, well, they still are sort of geeks, and we used to like be into Doctor Who and all that sort of thing. And when that sort of stopped, back in the 80s, we kind of needed something to replace our. It's still, you could still watch the old shows, but we ended up sort of being creative and doing films, and some with scripts, some like mine that ad lib, and that sort of group of friends sort of morphed into being the weird filmmakers instead of the weird sci-fi fans.
So you have your fingers in a lot of creative pies in. You don't just focus on poetry. There's lots of things.
That's
good.
Yeah, it was sort of. As I say, it really was an accident. I started again, really, like in the same that situation that you had. But, so do you have any sort of beyond the poems for kids? Have you thought beyond even that, or is that's the next thing? And
well, that's what I started doing. That's what I put a lot of energy into. So I don't want that project to just fizzle and die. I want to complete that. The dark stuff's kind of been a nice little bonus that's come, and there's actually enough for a second collection which I'm working on. But there'll always be something. I've got so many ideas buzzing in my head. I just don't really know how to translate them and get them out there, because I feel a bit stuck. I'd like to do the Victoria Wood sort of songs, but I don't write any music, so I'm finding that a bit hard to sound less similar.
Yeah, I know. I've always wanted, because songs have been my inspiration, or lyrics. I've always kind of wanted to be in a band or something. I had a fleeting stage where I wrote, but it was really silly songs. I went to 2 or 3 years ago now. I went to Broadstairs Folk Festival, and we were there for like a week. And I wrote a poem, and then I thought, right, I wrote it like a song with lyrics and chorus, and it was called I Lost My Heart to a Cornish Pasty. And so then I thought of luckily I was up at the top of this. I was with a friend's house, but my room was right at the top of the house, and they were all down. It was literally, so it must have been 4 years ago, because it was when the Olympics were on. So they were watching the Olympics. I was upstairs trying to make it. I think you're trying to just kind of ad lib a tune until I got it, and I did record that, because around the time I was still doing my poetry videos, and so I did. I think even at all of my shows they insisted I sung it, but that's when the confidence went. I was like, no.
You're great when you're up on stage. You've got good delivery, good confidence. It's nice to see.
I'm sure there's lots of thank you, but I'm sure there's too many ums.
Well, everyone does that. But
yes. The last episode of the podcast, this is what you said about how long does it take to do. I found there were quite a lot of ums, and I started cutting them out. And by the time I'd gone through it one more time, it had gone from being 1 hour 10 minutes to exactly an hour. So I managed to cut at least 10 minutes of ums or bits and pieces that could come out that really didn't need to be there.
Okay.
It wasn't just ums. That would be really bad.
Okay. You have the luxury of going back and sort of trimming it down and kind of trimming it out, which is nice.
Once you start doing it, you get a bit obsessed with it.
Completely. That's what I found with doing the YouTube videos, trying to edit those and cut them. It's quite frustrating as well.
What did you use to edit?
I just got my MacBook, just whatever programs on my Mac, and it's iMovie or something.
Yeah,
I still don't know what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, well, I used Windows when I was using Windows Movie Maker, and the version I had was great and very simple. and then I got a new laptop, and Windows Movie Maker had changed, and I couldn't work it
made
out
it harder.
at all. Yeah, and I just kind of, it just seemed to be really taking ages to do, and that's kind of, so I've got one or two still to edit, which I'm sure sometime I'll go,
Yeah.
oh actually, it'll be quite good, because then there'll be like old videos, and I'll be like, oh, that's like when I was young as well.
It's nice to have another pair of hands to help you with kind of setting things up and directing how it should be put across. It's hard when you have to do it all yourself.
It's very easy to kind of, you want help, but you also kind of want to do it yourself.
You want to be the creative controller.
Yeah, and it's the trouble. The trouble is when people start to say, "Oh yeah, I can help you in a couple of months," and you're kind of.
I'm thinking kind of now actually. I get quite shy performing things as well. Like when I'm on my own, it's fine. You can be as silly as you want, constantly voices. When my friend came over once to help me with the video, I kind of clammed up and it didn't come across as how I wanted it to because I'm so conscious of these eyes watching. But
like doing the podcast, I kind of suddenly decided I wanted to do it, and then I kind of had to do it quite quickly.
you got things quickly otherwise.
Yeah, because I've known people who are really creative, and I thought, we're like soulmates with it, and I've realised that quite a lot of people have ideas, and it doesn't go beyond the ideas.
Just stay there, don't they, and they kind of fizzle away.
But I'm like, I've got to do it. So at one point I said, right, I'm going to put enough stuff together for the podcast so that by August or sort of the autumn, I could sort of start putting them out. But then it became, I've got enough to do a pilot episode. I've got enough to do for it now. I'm just like really sick of it. And I've been collecting interviews, trying to factor as many interviews whilst it's nice weather and people are about.
Do things. Yeah, it's nice.
I promise you, this won't be on like the Christmas episode. It will be out before.
I hate Christmas anyway, so that's quite nice.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, but I didn't want to copy any one person, so I probably copied lots of different and come up with some own things.
Do they not all follow a similar format, or?
Well, there's not that many that sort of. There's not that many people who do it the way I do it, but that's probably a good reason, really. It's much nicer to be in a studio, probably, or even in your bedroom with a cup of tea. But I can't make it easy for myself. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A lot of podcasts they're done in one long hour, and then you just have to edit what you've got.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sort of taking what I used to do with the videos and doing where you did little sketches or something silly or whatever, and then. Well, this is the same. It's lots of little bits that you have to choose what order you're putting them in.
That's one thing. You've got another job to kind of put it all together. It's quite a long process.
Which
keeps you busy.
Does. Yeah.
So where do you get all your inspiration from? Do you have like one thing, or is it just anything and everything?
It is sort of observational things, or sometimes when I'm trying to be funny at work, you say something silly, and then well, I work with all the other library staff for ladies, and. So somehow I've ended up being the funny one at work. I think that's fair to say.
Just modestly.
Yeah, I was the one who said something silly or.
I always make myself laugh, and that's fine.
Yeah. Sometimes I said things I got that was really good.
I write that.
Yeah, write that down literally. Yeah. Or you take an idea and then you start thinking of. I'm sure that's how that psychopath one started. It's just kind of like, what? Oh yeah, but sometimes there must be you want to do something like that, and then something else happens and takes you out of the moment. It's the things that people say, or relationships, as you say. I've still got a big store of titles.
Just start with the title and fill in the rest afterwards.
Often, yeah. And I've sort of collected a lot of them. I've got a lot on my computer at work, so I can always go back to them, and sometimes it's amazing. I don't know if do you find that when you write yours, you're writing one at a time, or you're writing 5 at a time?
Sometimes they write themselves and I can't get them done quick enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it go 2 weeks and I feel like that's it, I've had my last pipe, nothing's ever going to come out there again, but something always does.
Yeah, I found the same, that sometimes they come fully formed, and you could post them on the blog by the end of the day, sort of thing, and others literally I had to store them away and kind of come
back little bits and pieces, lines here and there.
Yeah, my poetry books are a bit weird. They're not really like what poetry books look like. I was dating somebody in the States for a while, and they used to go to LA for a while, and they arranged for me to go to an open mic night over there, and they were a bit surprised, I think, that I use rhyme, which is people don't seem to like. Well, certain poets don't seem to like rhyme. The audience often, I think, prefer rhyme or really enjoy rhyme if it's used in the right way.
Yeah. It's funny because when I hear the word poetry, I kind of think of either fluffy camp stuff that rhymes, and then you've got this really important proper poetry that doesn't have any kind of flow to it, and it's right there, but it's hard to strike a balance.
It's difficult. So I did some of mine, and of course then they saw one of my books, and again it was kind of, there's not like a bit of white space in it. It's got pictures and it's a
lot in there.
And then I put like a fact file at the back. I just kind of write it like if I picked up a book, this is what I'd want.
It's your book, you can do it.
The only trouble, I had to stop the last book I was doing because mostly my earlier books perhaps were written in like say 6 months or a year or whatever. There were a couple of years where I managed to put 2 or 3 collections out. They just came really quickly, and then but the last one, because I was writing other things, it took more like 3 or 4 years to put it all together. But the trouble was the fact file was getting bigger, and some of my books I put bits on my blog, and I try and, particularly if it's the show, I kind of like to I always keep quite detail of what I've done, because my blog's quite a useful resource for me to kind of see what I've done it's because the blog bit of the book had gone over a 4-year period. You had like this little section of like 100 pages at the front of the book, and then about 500 pages at the back. And I was like, no, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in this, because it's been written over such a long time. It's not going to work in the way you used to write. You just have to take the best bits from that.
Of course,
from the last, So I got it back. I got it down to being about 200 pages, and
that's still a lot. I've only got 40 pages in mine, or 50 pages. I didn't want to put too much in because
it's just it's different. There's no harm in doing it in a different way.
I think for me, like if sometimes reading a really really long poem that goes on about 3 or 4 pages, that would put me off. I would like to read it all, but I find there's so much there. So I prefer shorter, quicker things, just to kind of that punchy.
I kind of have a rule that it doesn't go over a page or 2 pages at most, because if you've got it set up if you've got the formatting right, you can at least have it so you open up the book and it's all. I don't want to have page to. I remember when I was like, I used to belong to a writer's circle in Salisbury where I grew up, and I remember that was sort of before I was writing poetry, and I remember this guy used to write really long poetry. Literally, it could be 25 minutes. And you could see he was turning over the sheet. You couldn't see how anymore. And it wasn't to my liking.
To taste.
It wasn't to my taste anyway. But even so, you could sort of see other people were kind of like, you're kind of really taking up a lot of time, which other people have got to read, sort of thing. If it was the Poetry Cafe, you'd get dinged out if you
got knocked out all the time.
Probably. So I saw the other day the open mic night at Poetry Cafe. It's their 20th anniversary coming up.
20 years already. Wowza.
Okay. But then I suddenly thought, well, actually, it's like 8 years or so since I first went. So actually, that makes me feel really old.
No, just you enjoy yourself. Time goes fast when you're having fun.
The last one I've got is called Under Lock and Key, which I just wrote a couple of days ago. Give me back my broken heart, you've had it for too long. And though it's bruised and battered, I will try to make it strong. You said you would look after it, that really wasn't true. I gave you vulnerability, but had nothing from you. Give me back my broken heart, you've shown that you don't care. So now I must protect it once again, that isn't fair. I'll lock it in a wooden box, then throw away the key, and trust nobody else with it. In fact, not even me.
So, do you have any more plans for doing any more videos or anything with it?
I'd like to do some of the kids stuff again, because they're quite amateurish the way I've done them. I didn't really have much consistency. I just kind of banged them out without any real thought to them. I would like to do them again, but
they were good though.
People say that, but I can't watch them. I just cringe so much to see my stupid face and my eyebrows going up and down like a life of their own. But
I suppose, well, you're sort of to the camera, and it's sort of, there's no hiding it behind.
It's all there, isn't it? It's all. I'd like to do more, but it's a big thing to kind of do on your own. It's just, I can't bother with all the work, to be honest with you. I'm quite lazy.
When I did my videos, it was almost the silly bits were as important as the actual. And also, if I I literally do a silly dance, and then it was kind of known that I would do a silly dance at one point in the episode I tried to sort of not do one, and people, I thought actually some people are just watching because they want to see the silly dance. They don't want to.
Well, I started to dress up in some of my poems, give them a little bit of an extra edge. And there's one I do about a witch who wins a beauty contest because she stands out so much. And I was covered in this green paint, and I had this bin liner dress on and a hat and a wig, and it took so many takes to just get hotter and hotter in my flat. Just sick of it. So they're fun to do, but silly as well.
Yeah, it's fun doing that. It's fun doing those sort of things, but
there's a lot of undertaking, a lot of work.
When it's just you, and it's probably easier if there's more of a group of you're all doing it, whereas if you're the only person doing it.
I've done that before, where I've kind of set it all up and I've kind of done the whole poem, and then I realised I hadn't actually pressed record, so I had to do it all again, and I forget my lines halfway through. It's so hard. I feel like Mariah Carey.
I've not got to the stage yet, really, where I do my poems without having the in front of me, because I just think it's better if I do a good performance than worry about the lines. And
well, some of mine I know off the top of my head, there's no problem, and some of them I just have to refer back to it, and I don't like because I lose my place. And
probably no more than I realise. Sometimes I remember when I realised I could touch type.
You don't know you do it until you do it.
Yeah, I'd just been typing for years and years, and my brain knew where, but I hadn't taught myself.
It just becomes second nature, doesn't it?
So it might be. And occasionally I'll be watching something and somebody say, "Oh, I know that person." Suddenly I'll know that. I'm like, "How did I know that? I don't even know how I knew that."
So what going on there? You don't know.
Yeah, I've said it before, but I think my brain's like Homer Simpson. So if I'm going to take anything new, something old has to come out the other side.
That's it.
I just wanted to ask you about some other things you're interested. Do you like reading? Do you like films? Do you like music?
I like the idea of reading, but I find it quite a struggle to sit down and read a whole book. I mean, I've only read a few books in my life, which is quite shameful to say. Yeah, I love music. I watch movies. I like a lot of horror. I like a lot of scary stuff.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the 80s comedies as well, like anything with Bette Midler and that kind of genre is always very easy to watch.
What's your favourite scary?
I actually saw The Conjuring 2 the other night. Oh my god, it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. It was brilliant.
I don't think I've seen. I've
really, really good.
I've been watching all these ones from the like Europe in the 70s with subtitles, like Dario Argento ones.
Yeah.
Then some of the really more obscure ones which I didn't even know existed.
Okay.
Because the podcast that I listen to, Hysteria Continues, is all about slasher films, and it wasn't an area that I'd probably seen Friday the 13th and Halloween, but I didn't know about all the other ones. There's loads of them, so I've got all my pocket money's going on there.
There's your pocket money.
Yeah. And I got to the stage where I bought a Blu-ray player because some things were only coming out in Blu-ray, and I didn't have one before. But I thought, if I'm going to want to see that film, I'm going to have to get it. What sort of music do you like?
I like a lot of Michael Jackson. Love Keane. I used to be really into Boy George and Culture Club, but I don't really stick to anything. I like Sia. I'm really into Sia at the moment. She's amazing. I
like Sia's. Well, I don't say I don't like her now, but I liked
the non-commercial.
Yeah, the stuff that she did before she really. So now I'm kind of like, I don't know. I kind of see the shame that those songs can't also be as famous as her recent ones.
I just think she's such an interesting artist. Like before I knew more about her, I just thought she was like an 18-year-old girl, and I was like, oh, she's another Lady Gaga with her big hair and whatever. Then we actually watch her. She's got not a nice story, but she's got a lot of story behind her. It's quite sad, and I like her music that comes through in her music. Interesting.
I definitely used to listen to the chart. I used to like watch the pops and that sort of thing. I was even right up to when it stopped, and I was very sad when it stopped. So it's harder to kind of keep up with things.
I don't want to keep up with things these days. It all sounds the same to me anyway.
Well, I started listening to a podcast called Pop Chops, which is actually from Australia, but they kind of do reviews of the year, and they do things, and you hear little bits, and it's a bit more than just. So there's been a few things that they've put on that I've kind of then listened to some YouTube videos, or I've got Amazon Prime, and you've got so much music on there that's free. I have to stop myself rushing to buy something. Go, just a minute, check check you haven't got it for free anyway.
That's a good thing about it these days. You can trial it without having to part in the cash, really.
I sort of I like pop, but I like old. I started off when I was a kid, I liked ABBA and the Beatles.
Love ABBA.
And in the 80s, when only people who liked ABBA were people's mums. So I used to have like my friends' mums used to go, well, I like ABBA.
The day before you came.
Yeah, it was like literally just a year or two after they split up. So it's the worst time to. But I was definitely aware of 80s music. I think because I've been watching Top of the Pops, the repeats of Top of the Pops on BBC4, and I know. And I later on I sort of caught up with the 80s, but I think 'cause my parents they like music, but they're a bit square. So ABBA and the Beatles was okay by them. So, but they'd be the sort of people who'd have like a greatest hits. Perhaps not, but I was like, I had to get albums, and so once I'd done all of ABBA and the Beatles, then I started exploring other bands that were like them, like ABBA, Bucks Fizz, who were nothing like ABBA really, but they were two girls. Yeah, exactly. That's how my little mind was working. Yeah, Brotherhood of Man. So anything with two girls and two boys, that must be good.
My favourite in the 80s, Five Star. Still love Five Star. My absolute favourite band.
I remember there was a girl in our village who likes Five Star.
That was probably me.
Hi, Mandy.
So every year for Christmas, I'd design my own 5-star outfit with the big shoulders and the sequins. And Mum, I want it for Christmas. Go to your room. Can't play football. No.
I really like Duran Duran.
No,
Not so much at the time, but I sort of caught up with them later. The first sort of contemporary album I bought, which is like really old now, but the first 80s album that I bought when it was actually the new album was actually by the Pet Shop Boys, and that was sort of. But I remember I bought like the Best of Blondie, and actually I sort of hid it under the bed because it was the first time I bought something that wasn't the ABBA or the Beatles. But my dad said things like, "I don't know why you need to buy any more music. You've got enough. Surely you must have enough."
You never have enough.
It's like, but there's going to be
more coming.
That's not how it works. You don't go, "Oh look, I've got 100 albums. I must never buy any more." Yeah,
that's my quota field.
Yeah, I was really into sort of Britpop when I was at university because it was around that time.
Yeah,
I started going to gig.
Elastica and Blur.
Yeah. So I never saw Blur Oasis. They were a bit too big. But I did see Elastica and sort of the slightly smaller bands. Because it was easier to get to see them. Sort of got into the Smiths and Morrissey at the same time. That's the sort of good example of lyrics being sort of inspiring.
I like his lyrics.
But I haven't been to so many gigs in the last 2 or 3 years just because not living in central London, it's just a bit of a pain getting back afterwards. I do sort of want to write songs if I can.
So do you play any music as well, or do you?
I did piano lessons. So, but I was always too lazy to learn how to read the music. So, but I could play by ear to a certain extent.
So you can kind of put a tune together at least.
Yeah,
that's important. Right?
Yeah, and because you like Apple stuff, I'm obsessed with. I've got GarageBand on my phone.
I've got it, but I don't know how to work any of it.
The first time I used GarageBand was on like an old MacBook, so it was probably an older version, and I used it to record the poems, and that was all I really used it for. I got this phone; it's got a lot of space, and it's got GarageBand on it.
Okay. So you can do it right on the phone then?
Exactly, yeah, and it's got loops, so you've got lots of samples, and you kind of merge them together. Sometimes on Twitter I kind of go, if it says, oh, listen to this bit of music, whatever, it's something I've done on my phone, and it's, I just tend to like randomly choose about 10 different loops, and then have a little practice, and then kind of start off with one, add to another one, and then it gets really loud, and then I take them away again, and then it's
well, you put them in, that's right.
Exactly. That's all of my. The songs sound remarkably different, but that is basically my format. Is just add them all on and then take them all away.
Take it away. It's going to make
and that's really. It's not necessarily the sort of music that I would buy. It's more dancey, but because I've made it, you've got a lot of satisfaction to it.
Of course, it's something you've created.
Yeah, and so my theme music on the podcast is one of those, and any bits between it, bits that I've done. Yeah, it's kind of nice to know that. Well, that's another bit that I've got control of it.
I'd like to do something more lyrically, trying to write some songs, but I don't write any music, so I can write the words, no problem. But every song sounds the same because there's nothing to guide them anywhere.
Yeah, I remember when I was at school. My friend Harry and we tried to write songs because he said, well, you can write, but I couldn't really take myself seriously. I couldn't sing a serious ballad or something. I'd have to, all my songs would be like witches or
songs.
But yeah, I should have.
Stick with it.
Yeah, I should have done. You know, a lot of Kate Bush's early stuff was really weird and really weird characters before she sort of.
Yeah.
I could have been the new Kate Bush.
But you still can. There's still
I shall take that thought away.
There you go.
Next time you see me, I shall.
be in a free-flowing kind of summery dressing kind of.
Yeah. It's the new look. It's the Yeti look for 2017.
Yeti Bush. There you go.
Yeti Bush. Yeah.
That's the next book for you.
Yes. Well, I think it's probably time I let you go. And thank you very much for.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed this.
We must try and do some more poetry stuff together.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe we can have another chat on here in a sort of few months about other things when your next collection comes out.
Okay. I'm going to give it a little while because I feel like I've kind of shoved it down people's throats on Twitter. I don't want to lose all my friends, so I might give it a bit of a break and let them be free for a while.
Well, us poets have got to stick together, particularly when we've got sort of similarities in sort of style and things like that, because there's not as many of us out there as you think. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rich.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for my coffee. I'm still drinking the. I managed to make that last.
That's a good £2.
Yeah.
Looking at last.
Thank you very much.
All right. See ya.
See ya. I'd like to thank Rich for meeting and doing the interview, and hopefully we will be able to do something poetical. That's not even a word, is it? Poetic, maybe? Hopefully we can do something poetic in the future, whether it be a show or just generally taking over the poetic world or something. Well, I hope you enjoyed episode 12 of the Shy Life podcast, and you enjoyed hearing what Joe and Rich and I had to say. So next episode is episode 13. Unlucky for some, but not for us. It's not Halloween. We will be doing Halloween nearer the time, but no, episode 13 is going to be lucky for us, and we are going to be back soon. So take care, and thanks for listening, and join us again soon, and goodbye for now. Yes, all those things. I have to say them in, I don't know what order to say them in, but anyway, okay, I'll shut up. Goodbye for now. Goodbye. Yes, Rich has got a new book.
I do, sorry.
Oh, okay. You can see the back of it there.
It's called Dark.
It's called Dark.
Yeah, and it's available on Amazon. It's a collection of dark writings and poetry. It's a little bit miserable in places, but
Is it available here?
I didn't bring any copies. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, it's not available now then.
Next time.
Are you on Amazon?
Amazon, yes.
Okay, we'll have a look on Amazon. It's called Dark.
It's called Dark, and it's just Rich Harris.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.